farmers? Welcome back to Griffin, Indiana, and a different Griffin, Indiana. Kind of, sort of, but not really. A lot has changed since last episode. Last episode, I think we were on the 5th day of summer, and now we are on the 3rd day of fall. And the money situation is golden. Yeah, you're looking up in the right-hand corner probably and seeing $400,000 in the bank account, which is really darn good, which means we can buy Field 13, which we'll be doing here very shortly. But that's not all. Remember how I said I want to get the loan down to like about $1 million by the end of the season? I think right now the loan's down to $600,000. Yeah, a lot of flipping contracts I've been doing. That's why this episode is probably going to be short, because I've been doing a lot of, well, I shouldn't say I've been doing. Frank Jr.'s been doing some. Frank's been doing some. I've been doing some. We've all been doing some. But right now we are harvesting field number 24 of sugar beet. And kind of an interesting situation on the 3rd day of fall here with the contracts. I'm having some issues with the contracts. So for one, obviously I don't have a sugar beet harvester, so I borrowed the equipment to do the job. And I said, well, I'll take the trailer and truck and unload into that trailer and truck and shuttle that back and forth to here to unload. And I'll use this truck and trailer to do the contracts I'm doing. I'm doing a soybean harvest in field number 19 currently. So I started going along, and I got the trailer that we borrowed for the contract for the sugar beet. And I drive it up here, and it says sugar beet not accepted here. Which is interesting because I'm dropping sugar beet right now into here. I have no idea why it will not accept it. Do not know. So I'm using this trailer, and there's a trailer right there. And I want to just try it again just to be sure. Maybe by me dumping off some sugar beet into there has reset it somehow. So this is the equipment that I got from borrowing on the contract. Let's go up here and see if it'll accept it. If it doesn't accept it, it's not that big of a deal. I can always bring them to my silo, dump it in there, and then use the other trailer and bring it back on down. So back here, it doesn't allow me to dump, and it says, yeah, sugar beet is not accepted here. I have no idea what that is all about. So I fiddled with that for a minute, and then I thought about, well, how about if I grab the truck and trailer that we have and we'll accept it there, because I know I dropped it off there before, and that worked. So all the time I was doing that, I thought Frank was harvesting field number 19, but he was not. He went around once and harvested it, but then he was going around and he had the glitch to where, whoops, the engine was running, sorry. He went around once, and then he was going around, but he wasn't actually harvesting the crop. So I told Frank to go on home because he must be feeling ill. I hired a worker, and the hired worker had no problem harvesting the field down here. We're not done harvesting the field down here. I got another piece to do down here. So yeah, the hired worker was doing all the work down here. But yeah, we are in day 3 of fall, and like I said, the money situation is looking fabulous. I'm pretty sure once I get done all these harvesting contracts, we're going to be even better. But the one thing I need to do, because I do have a contract on field number 13 taken, so I don't want to deliver some soybean and have it go towards field number 13, which we're going to buy, right? So basically, if I bring soybean up, it could actually go towards field 13, and then I'll be out of soybean to deliver elsewhere. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to come in here. Let's go to lands. Right here, $398,930 to buy this land. Yes, I'd like to buy that. Thank you very much. And the contract should just disappear, which it did. That's fine. Let me go and grab our ideal combine. I don't think I can... Oops, I got a little bit of soybean here. Let's go ahead and grab that. So I'm getting like 35 grand for the sugar beet field. This field here is like 20 some odd grand, something like that for harvesting. So it's all looking pretty good money-wise. As this is unloading, I'll show you the money page, and you can see all the contracts that we've been doing. Loads of contracts. I was actually surprised fertilizing contracts kept coming up. I kept doing them. Hey, I'll take the cash. Take the cash and run, but I'm spending a lot of time doing fertilizing contracts, and I'm hoping maybe by the end of this year I won't have to do contracts next year in between episodes. We can just forget it. All right, let's go into the money page here. So now we bought that field. You can see the loans down to $600,000. If we scroll on down here, you can see contracts. $174,000 today so far doing fertilizing contracts. $174,000 yesterday. It's almost, did I do the same fields? No, apparently not. It is a little bit different. $232,000 the day before. And I think this is where we kind of were before. $236,000 that day. Actually, I think we're on this day because this is the money I got overnight from the biogas plant, $7,600, and the day before that, $367,000 in contracts. So the loan's down to $600,000. We just bought a field, which is good. The other thing that's doing pretty darn good, we go to here. Yeah, we're on the third day of fall. The cattle, we're up to 76 cows now. I think we were at 64, 65 last episode. And of course, we're just after 9 o'clock, so the cleanliness, water, straw is all looking good. TMR is looking good. So still, let's see, I think we have bought 40 cattle. Have we bought? I've already forgotten now. We've either bought 40 or, well, I haven't bought 60. It had to have been 40. I think we bought 40 and the rest have been reproduced. So far, still only the one male right here. Oh, wait, where'd he go? Right there. That's the only male that we have gotten out of all the offspring so far, which just seems weird on the ratio. That's fine, but we will be selling that male once he gets to a certain weight. Alright, so I need to go ahead and finish this field because I would like to maybe harvest one of our fields today. But I need that truck and trailer to do the sugar beet field. I got to keep that sugar beet harvester going. That's going to be like an hour-and-a-half job for them to get that done. Now, hopefully I can harvest this. Yeah, okay. Sugar beet harvester is full. Yep, I'm harvesting it. So for some reason on Courseplay, it wouldn't harvest this field on the contract. I thought about canceling it and trying to reset it. Then I said, geez, can I harvest the field? I said, okay, I can harvest it. And a worker can harvest it. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll just let a worker, I'll tell Frank to go home and we'll hire ourselves our worker and we'll get the job done. So that's what we're doing. So yeah, field number 13. Field number 13 is going to be our corn / silage field. And I probably should have shown you the crop rotation. I found a crop rotation. I hope it works. So basically, what we're going to try to do is we're going to, not this year though, because I don't know how it's going to go. I definitely want to plant corn in it as soon as I can next year. But basically, when spring comes next year, we're going to plant corn into it. And then we can harvest the corn. And then the crop rotation we're going to do is corn and canola, corn and canola. The other field will be a cereal crop and soybean. So at least that's what we're going to do. So yeah, the other field is going to be our straw field, so we can get that for our cows. And of course, the corn is going to be for the cows as well as silage. I think we're going to have to keep the silage one more year because the grass is not really growing like we expected it. So to make more silage, like I said last episode, I did some research on silage. How long is silage good for? And most of the reports I saw from studies said about 2 years. So right about now, that's how long we've had that silage, is about 2 years. So 2 years ago in the fall is when we harvested it. So yep, it's about time we sell that and get some new silage for the cows and make them all nice and happy. But now I'll have to wait next year. And next year, I don't know if we'll do it with a forage harvester that we own or one that we rent. We'll see how the money situation is looking next year. But we shall see how it goes. Got to get every little bit of soybean that I can. Now I can drop off that soybean. It'll go towards one of the contracts that we have. And then we can get back to the sugar beet. The wonderful, wonderful sugar beet. Yeah, so fabulous. I mean, like I said, the goal that we had, or at least I set for myself by the end of this year, wanted to get the loan down to $1 million and did that by far. And we bought a field, and the field I was kind of shooting for, I guess. I changed my mind a few times on what field we wanted, and I settled on field number 13. I thought about maybe getting some more smaller fields and merging them together. But then I was thinking, okay, but if I'm going to make that like my silage field, I got a long truck to go from that field. I was looking at Country View Milling, all those small fields. I was thinking about buying all those small fields and merging them into one. But then I said, boy, that's going to be a long drive back and forth to the silage pit. So probably not the best idea. I said, no, I think we'll stick to field number 13. 13's ready for harvest. We'll go ahead and buy that. And that field should be pretty darn good because I did fertilize that one quite a bit in the last few days. I wonder if I can fit all the soybean into the trailer. I know we were getting kind of close. I hope actually when I go bring this up to the Posey Co-op, I think that's where I got to bring this. I better double check. I hope it counts toward this field here so I can just complete the contract and be done with it. And I want to get these harvested fields done ASAP because maybe they'll put some cereal crop in these fields, meaning, you know, I got to replant. Because right now, like I said, I'm kind of hoping all the contracts that I've done and the ones I will do for the rest of the year, when next season starts, no more contracts. We're done with them. I think by the time I get done, we'll be at 500 contracts done in this map, which is that's just way too much. But I couldn't help myself. Every time fertilizing contracts came up, it's like, look at the money I can get. Look at the cash we can get. All right, if it all goes in here, great. If it doesn't, not that big of a deal. All right, so just a little bit extra. Let me just double check here. Field number 19 is going to the Posey Co-op, so we're going right by there. We can turn the beacons off. Thank you. And we'll put the pipe in as well. All right, let's go deliver all this soybean. Yeah, maybe I'll get the other harvesting contracts done. That way they'll get a chance to reset and possibly, like I said, see these fields later on. Probably won't be today, but we got a few more days to go here. Let's go get this delivered and get over to the sugar beet harvester and get that, get him on the move. We're not too far away from getting about halfway on the sugar beet field. It's getting along rather nicely. Yeah, so I'm changing my goals for next year at this point. Actually, I'm changing my goals for this year. I still would like to get a lot more cattle into our cow barn. I think I said I want to have 100 by the end of the year, and I'm thinking maybe we want more than that to push the series along a little bit more. Because now I think we're doing fine, really fine money-wise. I know I said this a couple episodes ago, but Farming Simulator 22 is going to be here before we know it. And to get to the challenge I want, yeah, we need to get a move on a little bit. Alright, so I just want to make sure the money should not be going up. I probably should be checking. I can kind of see, let's see, field 19 is at 84%. Still at 84%. Where are you going? So it looks like it's taking it for field 29. That one's going up. That's the sugar beet field we're working on. So yeah, field number 29 should probably be the next one. Okay, that's transported all from field 29. And now you're going towards field 19. Won't be enough to cover field 19 though. So maybe we'll harvest field number 29 and get that contract done. Bring some cash in. I need a little bit more money to play with at this point. Right, let's go get that sugar beet harvester unloaded so you can get back to work. So yeah, not really sure what's going on with the borrowed truck and trailer for the sugar beet harvest. Why it won't accept the sugar beet from that trailer. It just says sugar beet not accepted here. Maybe the trigger on the trailer is too high for the co-op to see that it's there. I have no idea. No idea. Every time I come to this railroad crossing now, because these railroad posts come down rather quickly, before I cross, I do take a quick peek to see if the train's coming, because those come down rather quick. I've been caught twice. You know, I'm going at full speed in a track. I think the last time I did it was in the Deutzfahrer and the Briegel spreader. Actually, I need to cut across. No, I can go through the way I'm going. Yeah, but I was going like full speed and like, crossings aren't down, we're good to go. And just as I got there, they came down. And, yep, they actually got stuck between the Deutzfahr and the Breedel spreader. Traffic is still turned off here. And I'm lining up my tractors there. I need to put some more seed into the seed tanker. That is just about empty, and I think the Breedel spreader is just about empty of fertilizer as well. But after we get done harvesting field number 13, we're going to prep that next year for corn. We're going to plant corn in that as soon as we're allowed to. That way we can harvest it as sooner as we can, which will allow us to hopefully put canola into there. We're getting along pretty nicely here in the sugar beet field. Go ahead and get you unloaded. And then we'll go grab our harvester and head to field number 29 and get that contract done, because we've already delivered all the soybean that we need in that contract. Yeah, so these are the contracts we got. So yeah, this field's going to pay us $35,000 plus the extra sugar beet that we get. Field number 12, that's a small field. That's going to be a pain in the butt to really get to. I may actually cancel that one, honestly. Field number 19, which is one we just harvested, that's $23,000. Field number 29 is $11,000. Field number 14. Actually, this field right here, yeah, we're going to go ahead and we're going to cancel that one before I even deliver anything to it. All right, and we'll just kind of, quote-unquote, collect on that, even though we're not collecting anything on it. And the reason why I'm canceling that, because one, it doesn't pay much, and two, it's this field right here, and I have to go over the bridge, and I don't want to. Yeah, it's just I just don't want to. How about that? All right, deal with it. I don't want to. All right, let's go ahead and unfold the header. Lower that down. There we go, and back on up. And let's hook it all up and head on over to field number 29. The dual tracks. I still haven't gotten used to the dual tracks, that this combine does not turn as well as you think it would. Hitch that on up. I'm trying to remember who I was. I think it was Mr. Sealy P. I was watching one of his videos. I don't remember which one it was, but he was talking about what I just did here, hooking up the header trailer to the combine itself. And I do have to agree with him on this point, to where he says over there, he lives over in the UK, that the combines that they see, the combines never haul their own header. They always have a tractor do it. And I'm trying to think, the ones I see around here, I think I have to agree with them that I never see the combines pull the headers. Maybe the combines that we're seeing don't have that option. So when you play Farming Simulator, do you use a tractor to haul the header trailer, or if the combine is capable, do you do what I'm doing? Nope, I'm not going over a bridge. We should be all set. Just make sure the train's not coming. Yeah, this is why I'm leaving the traffic off from now on, just because anytime I go up and down Main Street, it's not going to. I'm calling this Main Street. I actually don't know. There are road signs around here, aren't there? I thought there were street signs around here that told us the name of the streets. Guess I'm wrong on that too. But I'm going to call this Main Street, I suppose. So yeah, every time I come down here, definitely got traffic going up and down, and it's just, yeah. It's not going to work out. As for the milk situation for the cows, I think we're up to like 28,000 liters, so since I'm not in dire need of some cash, I'm just going to wait until we get a good load. I actually think our milk stand's offering a decent price on the milk. Alright, so this is our next field that we're harvesting. I still don't quite understand, because for some reason I still have in my head, I do have crop destruction on, but for some reason when you work in another farmer's field, on a contract, it yeah, it doesn't. There's no crop destruction. All right, lift that up. So a couple times we may have to head on over and take care of the sugar beet harvester. Let's hopefully I don't have a problem harvesting this field, right? We're going to be fine. Looks like the header is actually harvesting, so we are ready to rock and roll. So all this soybean that we're harvesting needs, I think it all needs to go to the Posey Co-op. Our soybean, when we harvest it, that is going to go into our silo. And I'm not going to get too close. I don't know what crop that is over there. That might be canola. I don't want the header to get confused what crop we're harvesting. So I'm hoping by the end of today, another $100,000 can come off that loan, get it down to $500,000. I am thinking by the end of the year, there's a very good possibility we won't have a loan at all, and you won't have to hear me talk about it anymore. And I'll be happy not to talk about it anymore. Then we'll just focus on doing work on our own farm. So I was also thinking about today, but I spent too much time doing all the fertilizing contracts. We were going to do some more fertilizing, but with some more cow manure on our grass field. But since the grass field is not close to being ready, I think I'll wait for the cows to produce more manure and hopefully get that field fully fertilized. Like I said, at this point, it won't have to be ready now until next summer when we make some more hay. Now, I think we might have more than enough hay like we did this year where I sold some, but we'll just make more hay like we always do. We'll keep a good stockpile of it, and if I think I got too much, we'll go ahead and sell it. Just need the food that the cows need, and the only thing we're feeding the cows is silage, hay, and straw. That's all we need for the mixer. Any other stuff that we harvest, we'll just keep and sell when the price is good. But I'm going to start looking at some forage harvesters for next season. So when it comes time for the corn, yep, and we are going to harvest the corn in the final growth stage. We're not going to wait until like it's quote unquote ready for harvest. So I don't know if I talked about this last episode about the silage. So yeah, so when you're making silage, you really want to harvest the corn in real life before it dries up, because you want the moisture content in the corn to, when you compact it, you want the moisture in there to a certain percentage, as they say, so it helps it do the fermenting process. So we're going to harvest it before it's ready for harvest, if that makes any sense. And with a forage harvester, you can do that. I'm just going to wait till I get to the end of this road, and we're going to go over there and jump into our Peterbilt and make sure we keep that root crop harvester going. Like I said, by the time we get done with these soybeans in this field, hopefully we'll have a couple more contracts done. Yeah, he's getting along very nicely here. I may come back around and pick up these sugar beet. Now, what I am going to do, like I said, the other trailer that's there, I'm just leaving it there because I may have more than enough to complete the contract. And then I'll go up and dump it into our silo and then reload it into this one and sell it if I want to. I gotta see how much the price of sugar beet is going for today. So while we're here, we're just waiting for a second. No, that's the wrong one. Milk price, like I said, is looking pretty darn good. Sugar beet, where's sugar beet? Right here. It's going for 120 and rising. Is there a good time of the year for sugar beet? Sugar cane, sugar beet. Actually, late in the year it is. So might go ahead and hold on to that. All right, let me jump back over to here. And let's continue this harvest here. Which won't take us too long. I did refuel the Ideal combine before we started because we're going to have a few fields to harvest. Obviously, we got a lot of fields to harvest. Well, I shouldn't say a lot of fields. I think a lot of the fields won't be ready now until next year. I think all the contracts we have might be I think it's the soybean fields that will be ready in the fall, and the rest of them won't be ready until next season. By that time, like I said, we may not be doing any of those contracts at all. Our equipment will just be for our own fields at that point. And we'll slowly bring in more cash and keep buying more fields. I mean, I may not stop doing the contracts completely. We may still do some, but I won't be doing as many as I have the first. I think I said this is the third season that we're in. Well, I don't think I'm going to get field number 29 done this episode. It's taking me a little bit longer to harvest than I thought it would. It's kind of stupid. It's not like it's a small field over there. But yeah, I need to go bring some sugar beet on over to the Posey Co-op because this trailer is going to be full. Then I'm going to go ahead and we'll unload the combine harvester and empty out what's in there for soybean and get that delivered as well. I don't think I'll actually have enough to complete field number 19 anyway, so maybe I won't even get that far. But we definitely got to bring the sugar beet over because, well, it's a full load for sure. But probably next episode we'll be finishing up these contracts here. And then, yeah, the fun will begin turning over our field number 13. I don't know if that field needs to be plowed or not, or subsoil, but I probably will do that. We're going to have to do some soil sampling in it, make sure we get a good yield out the field as best we can. And that won't be as bad because we're going to use something different. And you guys kind of told me about that last time I did some soil sampling. There is an item on the Giants Mod Hub, and we're going to go ahead and use that next time. I may even buy it outright. Why would I do that for? I mean, I'm not going to... It's not like... As far as I can see, it's just like a one-time deal on a field, and you don't have to keep redoing it, because once you know what you got for soil, it's not like the soil's going to change. But it's not that expensive either, but then I don't want to just start spending money just because we kind of have some. And like I said, we may even start buying some cows as well. Get the total up, and that way, if I buy them in the fall, next spring they should become pregnant and expect some offspring and give birth in the fall. I think, right? Spring to fall, that seems about right, somewhere around there. Gotta start getting those cow totals up. And the train once again. I like how long he made the train. It's not like it's like triple the normal size, I think. Yeah, I tried using the trains all throughout my farming simulator career. Yeah, I think the trains didn't come about until FS15, and then it was pretty much only used at the sawmill. So basically, the train, if you brought trees to the sawmill, you would get trees were OP in Farming Simulator 15 when it first came out. So basically, in 15, when you brought trees to the sawmill, you got paid for dropping off the trees. And if you over and activated a button, the train would take off, and you got paid again when the train exited the map. So you almost got double the money for the logs. And, I mean, you can cut down one tree and make like $30,000-$40,000 per tree. Didn't take long for Giants to adjust that a little bit. So, in 17, yeah, that's in 17 we can start using the trains to transport grain. But I guess that would be probably really more for console players maybe back then, because on PC most of us, you could download a mod that the trailer could hold just as much, if not more, than what the train could hold. And on the last challenge on the Pacific Northwest, I tried using the trains for transporting logs to make a difference, but logs don't strap in on the train. That kind of sucks. I'm going to bring this back to the sugar beet harvester because that's going to be keep refilling. And I want to try to get that job done as soon as I can. That way it frees up our truck and trailer just for soybean only. I mean, I tried using the other trailer. I just don't know why it says sugar beet not accepted here when this trailer is dropping off sugar beet just fine. So long distance plans at this point is field number 29, which we're harvesting the soybean in now with the combine. I think I'm going to combine that field along with our field number 30, and that'll have the same crop rotation as we're currently doing in field number 30. And eventually over here, yeah, I don't know how much silage. I think we'll have to wait until next year when we do our first silage run for corn. We'll have to see how much silage we get off that one field. Because currently we don't need that much. But then again, if we get more cows like the plan is, then eventually we will need quite a bit. So let me just check the stats on field number 13, which is right here, the one we just bought. Well, it doesn't say it needs to be plowed. So now if I go to precision farming, that's not going to show me anything. pH level, nitrogen level, not going to show me anything because we haven't done any soil sampling on it, but we will definitely next episode after we harvest field number 13. I'm going to knock out some of these contracts, I think. I know I said I was probably going to start by finishing the contracts, but I may go ahead and just finish them all anyways. And that way, to start the next episode, we can go ahead and harvest field number 13 and then set off a worker on field number 30. And while that's doing that, we'll be doing some soil sampling in field number 13 and start getting that ready. Oh, so what I did want to show you what my plan is. So crop rotation. This is the crop rotation we're doing right now in field number 30. We're doing wheat, which is just a cereal crop, and then soybean. And the yield is actually not that bad. If you look at corn and canola, that seems to be a good combination. And if we look at when corn and canola can be planted and harvested, so if we go on down here, corn can be planted when the soil is at least 50 degrees. So we're talking like the 3rd and 4th day of spring, and then it can be harvested like in the first couple days of fall if we do it right. So if we can harvest it in the first 3 days of fall, then if you look at canola, you can replant canola, say like anywhere all the way to the 2nd day of winter, and then you can possibly harvest it 1st and 2nd day of summer, which does kind of cut into the corn process. So we gotta, you gotta hopefully that it's good. That's why I don't want to do canola this year, because if I plant it too late, the harvest may be later than what the corn will be able to be planted. Hopefully that makes any sense. But the first year, we're not going to go ahead and try to turn this field around as quickly as I can. So we'll see how it goes. Like I said, up to 76 cattle, 1 male. Don't know how that's working out, but yeah, we may go ahead and buy some more cows and get this total up. And yeah, because I mean, like I said, eventually I would like to get up to 2,000, but I don't know if we're going to get there or not. We'll have to wait and see. But we have expanded the farm and cut into that loan. Like I said, loan's down to $600,000, but hopefully by the time I finish up these contracts, I can get it down to $500,000. And I think what I want to do for a forage harvester next year, I thought about using that New Holland, the base game one, but I'm thinking maybe I need to search the mod hubs and all that and see what we got out there. I usually use the Big Crone X, but I use that all the time, so I think I want to try something different and see how that goes for us. But anyways, that's going to do it for today, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode. I do appreciate you watching as always. I'll catch you again right here in Griffin, Indiana. But until then, have a good one.